Hello again, my name is Nathan McDonald with the Kretsu Forum, and we're here at the Future in Review Conference 2014, our 12th year, and we're interviewing our FiReStarters. And very pleased to have Jonathan DeHart here with NorthShore Bio. Welcome, Jonathan. He's also a Kretsu Forum member and portfolio company. So terrific to have you guys here this week. I'd love for you just to share a little bit about NorthShore Bio and where this technology came from and what you guys have.
Well, NorthShore Bio is involved in next generation sequencing platforms. We're anticipating a tremendous shift away from sort of the analog approaches to sequencing today into the digital realm, which will allow us to really open up a tremendous amount of new information that we can't see today. And so the genesis of the company really came out of engineers that were at Intel Corporation for a number of years working on array-based platforms. And we took our team out and launched in the Seattle, Washington area and moved into nanopore-based sequencing. So it's been an exciting ride.
Excellent. And I had a chance to tour through your guys' the Institute for Systems Biology. You guys had a bunch of chip stuff in there and it looked a little out of place. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you're merging these two technologies together?
Yeah, so it's at this interface between electronics and these chemistries where we've really innovated. And the notion is that sequencing will move to some form of nanopore-based solution. And for about the last 10, maybe even 15 years, folks have been looking for the right solution. And it turns out that we were able to fabricate some three-dimensional structures. You can think of it as electronic beakers on a chip.
Okay.
And those allow us to create very small pores, tunable pores, that allow us to attach things called exonucleases to cleave DNA rather than using a synthetic intermediate to sequence. And that allows us to get much longer read lengths, allows us to sequence once and for all from the beginning to the end, which is something we're still really not able to do. And so it has a tremendous number of advantages, and we think we'll be able to unlock that non-coding region of the genetic code we just can't see today. It's moving beyond the exomes, which are the protein coding regions of DNA. So it's a fantastic tool. It's silicon-based. Again, it's silicon economics, which means we're talking about very inexpensive chips that we think will have really interesting commercial attractiveness.
Excellent. So we're talking about using core Intel technology to basically sequence the human genome and put those capabilities to work for us. So.
Yeah, so quick clarification, there's no overlap with Intel. We came from Intel, but this is a completely new platform. Okay. So NorthShore Bio owns it. But there's no question that that we learned a tremendous amount working at Intel and working on array platforms back in the day.
Excellent. So what will the world be different if you guys are successful, when you guys are successful in implementing this technology at a broader scale, and kind of talk about where you're at today in the lab and where you guys hope to be in the next set of milestones?
Yeah, so in terms of the impact on the world, our view is that we are currently in the sequencing space where computing was in the 60s, which we really can't fathom what will happen necessarily in sequencing, but we know that we'll be doing things with this data once we're able to really democratize it, make it much cheaper, much more accessible, and much higher resolution, that we'll be able to do things that we hadn't thought of today. But we know that by understanding, again, DNA being the software of life, by understanding how each one of our bodies function, we can unlock that recipe, understand how our DNA drives functions in our body, translating through RNA and into proteins that operate every facet of our bodies in the human capacity. We'll be able to do things at some point in time like write apps, if you will, that allow us to tackle allergies or diseases on an individual basis. So it's not so broadly sort of in a peanut butter fashion across populations. Chemotherapy and cancer as an example with radiation, a very broad-based approach to attacking a problem. We'll get much more specific and much more personalized. And this is the type of technology we feel that's needed to get us there.
Well, that just sounds like an incredible, Star Trek kind of a breakthrough. Congratulations, Jonathan. That's
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can you talk about your team and who's working on this project with you?
We have a tremendously small team. Like any small startup, we needed to be cost effective. We've got a fantastic crew, though. Our Chief Science Officer is a Johns Hopkins Med School PhD, 10 years at the NIH, 10 years at a proteomics company bringing a compound from bench to market. We've got a seasoned IBM silicon engineer who also worked with us in our Intel days. And we brought in some biochemists, electrochemists along the way, and a material scientist. So we're really a tech team except me.
Yeah.
I'm the business guy.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, we really contract out from there, and we've kept it pretty efficient, pretty small, but so far pretty effective.
So there's got to be quite a few people chasing after you from a corporate partnership point of view, from a funding point of view. Can you talk about how you guys are navigating that as a small company, and where do you really see the opportunity for this technology to go, and you know, the opportunity to really grow into to what it can, the fullness of what it can be?
You know, we launched mid-end of 2009, which wasn't a great time, economically speaking, to launch a company. So we've been heavily angel-backed, but we've made it far enough in terms of our development, our proof of concept, that we have attracted interest of strategics. So we're actually in the process of raising another round. Mm-hmm. Where that comes from, we're open-minded. But clearly, there's been some interest from strategics, and it's just a function of determining whether it's the right time to do that. But ultimately, you know, I think a company like this with a technology like this is something that will get, you know, absorbed into an organization with an ecosystem intact to really realize its value. So that's likely our outcome.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on being a FiReStarter here at the FiRe conference. Can you talk a little bit about what you hope to accomplish this week in terms of people to meet, partners, or kind of what message you'd like to get out to the audience here as well as to the folks watching online?
Well, we're certainly honored to be here and honored to be selected. It's our first time at an event like this. I think, as I was just speaking earlier with some folks, we're going to meet a number of people who not only have interest in our space, but potentially can help facilitate, you know, our success, and hopefully we can help facilitate some success of others as well. So we're really looking forward to the opportunity.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you. Appreciate
Welcome.
it. Yeah. Thanks very much.